Leo Terrell, Fox News contributor, civil rights attorney. Leo, I want to start right there. The president staying pretty mum about this, and I know legally you love that. So what should happen next on his behalf?
Well, I'll tell you, Harris, thanks for having me on this subject. We need a profile and courage moment from President Biden, who is a lawyer, and Kamala Harris. This is the most anti-democratic ruling. 4 Democratic judges are telling the citizens of Colorado, you cannot select the candidate of your choice. This is something that is impossible to even imagine because President Trump, at least understanding the law, is not guilty of any charge. I'm under the impression you're innocent until proven guilty. I would submit to you, Harris, and the viewers, President Trump has not been guilty or been found convicted of a federal crime, and the Supreme Court has to rule not 5-4, Harris, 9-0 to send a message to every state in this country that the Constitution prevails and President Trump is a viable candidate on the ballot.
So the argument is also that he hasn't been charged in the rioting on January 6th. So you talk about no conviction on any of the counts against him. This specifically, though, is tied to that by the state of Colorado. And we're learning more, by the way, about the 4 Democrat-appointed Colorado justices who kicked Trump off the ballot. We circled them for you, so you'll know who they are. 3 are Ivy Leaguers. One of them is something of an icon in the gay community. Another is a jazz musician. They say they had, quote, little difficulty coming to their decision. The 3 Republicans on the court all voted in favor of Trump. Is this partisan as it looks?
Yes, Harris. You know, the hardest thing for me is for people to try to assume that the legal system is working. Harris, this is all politics. It's all politics. You just laid out the background of these individuals, their party affiliation. It is silly for anyone to honestly believe that the legal system is working correctly. The legal system has been hijacked. It is a dual system of justice against President Trump. And if anyone honestly looks for a legal analysis as to the decision of yesterday by the Colorado Supreme Court, you're kidding yourself. It is pure politics, plain and simple, Harris.
Politico Playbook, speaking of politics, had this on the Colorado decision, quote, the impact on the primary seems clear enough. If anything, it will help Trump rallying his most fervent supporters and forcing even his most bitter rivals to defend him. Well, all of that is already happening. And for any doubters, Trump's poll numbers jumped by nearly 10 points after his first indictment by a Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg. His numbers held steady through the next 3 indictments and continued to grow. An average of national polling now has him at 63% and voters' choice for the Republican nomination. Now, I was just saying that at the end of Mark Meredith's great reporting, that this only potentially helps Trump, but it hurts the system.
It destroys the system. Harris, you know, there are people who dislike President Trump. But the system is being challenged. What makes us unique is our rule of law, and it's being questioned. And Trump haters are now supporting Trump on the issue that he deserves to be on the ballot. He deserves to face the voters, not 4 judges. And this is our problem right now. Our legal system is being tested. And this is why the Supreme Court has to rule 9-0, Harris. It has to rule 9-0. Those lawyers, those judges know what is right, and 9-0 is the only ruling that they could come up with.
Can other states look at this and try to do the same thing?
Right now, yes. Until the Supreme Court rule, yes. And this is what you're having. You're having 50 possible different outcomes because they don't like a particular candidate. In this situation, they don't like President Trump. Due process out the window. And Harris, you don't even need a conviction to even make such a ruling. That's what the Colorado Supreme Court has done. They have opened up a Pandora box that allows every state to make their own individual ruling in defiance of the Constitution. This is a scary day, Harris. I can't say it enough as a lawyer for 33 years who loves this country.
Really quickly, how fast can it happen that the U.S. Supreme Court would consider this?
The moment that petition is filed by President Trump to appeal this decision, the Supreme Court can work at warp speed to send a message, a ruling out immediately to make sure there's a uniform system of qualifying on the ballot. So I encourage the Supreme Court to move quickly. And I encourage Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to have a profile encouraged moment and say this is wrong.
Yeah, you calling on them with that. I can't wait to follow the news on that because that will spread. Leo Terrell, thank you for your expertise and your time, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you, Harris. You do a great job. Thanks for having me.